This is your solving equations, addition and subtraction video. Make sure you have this note page in front of you. And here we go. Remember, an equation has an equal sign. And anytime we're solving an equation, the whole point, the object means the goal, the end result, the whole point of what we're trying to do is get the variable by itself. All right, so if this is an example of what we have, so this is an equation, I want the z by itself. So in the end, I want to say z equals something. So in this case, it's 3.2. So remember now, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the z by itself. So we have to do something with what you see left over here. Okay, in order to do that, to get the z by itself, we must do the inverse operation. Inverse operation. So, inverse of adding is subtracting. Inverse of subtracting is adding. Inverse of multiplying is dividing. Inverse of dividing is multiplying. Make sure that we're all aware of that. That's stuff that we've practiced. So, in order to get the variable by itself, we have to do the inverse operation. So, let's try it. Okay, this is an addition equation. So, any equation, when we're talking about algebra, remember algebra is math that has variables. Any type of equation in algebra has two sides. Okay, you have a left side, left of the equal sign, and a right side, the right of the equal sign. Those two should balance. That means this 15.4 should equal 15.4 on this side too. It may not look like a 15.4, but whatever this adds up to should be 15.4. So we're going to prove that right now. The reason that I'm cutting this in half down the middle like this is because we're going to have to change some things around. So take a look at this. I wanted to get the z by itself, so I got to get rid of this 12.2. So let's think about that. I want this 12.2 gone. So to get rid of it on this side, I'm doing the inverse, which is to subtract. So I need to subtract 12.2. Why do I need to do that? Because once I subtract it, there's nothing left. This is gone. All I have left is that z. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted left, was the z. So once I've done the inverse, whatever I do to one side, I have to do the exact same thing to the other side. So I subtracted 12.2 there, got to subtract 12.2 here. And very easily, when I subtract those two, I get my 3.2 that we wanted in the first place. So a quick review, we cut the equation in half. Whatever we have to do to one side, the inverse to get the variable by itself, we do. And then that same thing happens to the other side. Some things I don't like. Okay, here's your problem. I don't want to see this. Okay, that is not happening. This is not a subtraction problem. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. I don't want to see that. This is not a subtraction problem. This is an addition problem. We're solving it by subtraction, but this proves to me that you know how to get that variable by itself. Okay, so do not show me a subtraction problem. Okay, so let's do a couple examples here. Two sides of the equation. Oh, I guess we can remind you what a variable is. Go ahead and write that down. Letters representing numbers, easy peasy. And remember, anytime you're using decimals and we're adding and subtracting them, to line the decimals up. Very, very important. So we split our equation in half. I've got subtract of 14.6. I need the z by itself. So I'm going to do the inverse of this, which is addition, and I'm going to add 14.6. That will cancel out the 14.6, leaving me only with z. I added 14.6 here, so I'm going to add 14.6 on the other side. Kids usually like to put the bigger number on top. You don't have to. As long as you line the decimals up, it doesn't matter. And if you want to add in your 0 so that things balance out, that's fine. Make sure you bring your decimal down first. I'm sure that my excellent students would do that first. So add them up. 8 and 0 is 8. 6 and 5 is 11. Carry the 1. 4 and 3 and 1 is 18.18, or we say 18 and 18 tenths. Okay, let's try the second one. Why don't you stop the tape and try that one on your own? Okay, we split it in half. I see plus 8 here. I'm doing the inverse of that, which is to subtract 8. That gets rid of the 8's, leaving me with only j. Subtracted 8 over there, so I subtract 8 over here. Feel free to add a decimal and a 0 if you wish. And if you subtract these guys, 5 minus 5, 12 minus 8, you get 4.5. J equals 4.5. Remember, rewind it, re-listen to things, check things out. The homework is on the back.